So we were talking about love and marriage, and the point I always make, love is just the icing on the cake. And my best friend for 30 years, she's giving a good advice. So tell them, what about love and how your marriage has been great and what supports makes it?
Yeah, I mean, I've been married for 15 years. I was just telling you the story, you know, like we met on a blind date and then he moved in with me after 3 months. We got engaged after 6 months and married a year and 2 months after having met. And like,
damn,
it was fast.
I heard that 6 months.
You know, what I'm still learning is how many of my friends were betting against us and how many people thought that we were going to get divorced, and we've outlasted everyone. I was the first one of my friends to get married.
Wow.
First one to have kids, like, and I was the only one that never had a boyfriend. So it was like, go figure. But no, I mean, I think it's like, I don't want to say that it's a business, but it's a decision, right? It's like you gotta weigh more than just love. You gotta weigh more than just sex. You gotta weigh more than just, there's not just one thing. It's, you know, it's about the whole package, right? It's like, I think that the reason why we're still solid and good is because we genuinely enjoy each other's company. You know, he likes to say, when people ask him what's the secret to marriage, I'll steal his line, but he gets so frustrated. It's that we like each other.
You like each other.
Like, loving each other is one thing, but you gotta like the other person. And like,
yes, you gotta like.
And like, you gotta like, you have to want to experience life together, right? You have to choose every day to wake up. And especially in LA, you know, it appears that the grass is always greener somewhere else, right? Someone's lawn is always more manicured than yours.
Yes.
And
ladies, learn that.
But also guys, I mean, you know, but yeah, I mean, I'm hearing a lot of ladies cheating on their husbands.
A lot.
And it's like, what's that all about, right? Like, who, like, do you really think that like, once you go over there, then like that's like you're gonna fucking regret what you did?
Sorry to cut you off, but yesterday I was talking to one of my friends on the phone, this girl.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, friend.
You did that. Yes. I didn't do it.
And she was telling me, this girl that she knows, older lady, she's about our age. She's been married for 20 years. But she was telling her friend that, oh, you know, I be cheating on my wife for the last 5 years. I take trips and I meet new guys, young guys, and I have sex with them and this and this. But my husband is great sex, everything. Financially, he's everything. We have 2-3 kids together. But
so what's that about? Exactly.
And she's like, oh,
what are you missing that you're seeking something? Maybe you just don't like him.
That's why I was telling my friend, and she's like, nah, she said she loves him, you know, he's the best, he never trade anybody for him. Mom said, so why'd you go out? And I'm like, this is crazy. And she's like, don't you think that you want to tell him? And maybe you guys could figure out, maybe you guys need to have an open relationship, maybe you be understanding. She said, nah, hell no.
No, because he's not going to be on board with that.
Yes.
Because he's probably a good guy.
And I was telling my friend, how about if he finds out? And she's like, oh, she would never find out. He would never find out. I'm like, trust me, a lot of stuff like this goes on. People find out and it goes so sour.
That's just soul crushing.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But she said, I'm in love. I love him. We have great sex. He's the best and this and this. And financially, everything. We got 3 kids
maybe
together.
She needs to go to therapy on her own.
That's what I said. She got some problems.
Yeah.
Some back problems. Like, it doesn't make no sense. You know? And I was like, I could see a man acting a fool like that, but you know, guys think emotionally different than women. Guys is like, oh, somebody kicked a soccer ball to me and I kicked it back. Then a woman, if somebody's kicking a soccer ball, now moved away from the soccer ball.
Yeah.
That's the difference. If a lady kicked the soccer ball back, it means that she's emotionally attached with it.
Right. She's accepting it.
She's accepting it. It's totally different from men. So when she said that this lady been doing this for 5 years and she have kids and she's happy, I'm like,
5 years.
And she's been with him for 20 years. That's sick, right?
It's just ass backwards. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know. That sounds like somebody I have absolutely nothing in common with. Like, that's just like, that sounds like someone who's probably insecure to a capacity, you know, to a certain degree. they're seeking validation elsewhere. And what's interesting is that she can recognize and acknowledge that he's like a really good guy.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Yeah.
I'm like, she says all of that, but still at the same time, you do what you do. It's crazy. I'm saying you might as well just be single and, you know, or just let him know this is what I want to do. Let him choose. Maybe he might say, hey, we want an open relationship. You know, you do whatever you want to do. I do it, and then we come back together. Because there are people like that live that life.
I guess.
Yeah, they are.
No, I know there are.
Yeah. I mean,
I've never gotten far enough with another person to find out whether or not they were open. I mean, yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's like we got, you know, one thing I say, this is probably one of my favorite kind of Michelle-isms, is that in life, there is literally only one person you get to choose in your life, and that's your partner. You don't get to choose your family. You don't get to choose your kids. You don't get to choose anything. So you got one person you get to choose. Like, make that a really good choice, right? And that's where all of the layers of like, it's not just about one thing. It's not just about how good the sex is, or you know, or
so how do you
how much money they have, or what they offer you.
How do you channel that one good thing in the cup? Like, you pick the right one to be able to satisfy what you want, and it lasts forever. How do you pick it? What determined that's the
I don't know. I think it's actually like, so both of us come from divorced families.
Okay.
And you know, we moved so quickly that we had to have really hard conversations really early on. You know, I remember like our first trip, we went to New York, and on the flight back, we literally sat there for the 5.5 hours and just talked about how we see our home life, right? I talked about how dinner is at the table every night, and how I want to cook dinner, and I want to do those things, and I talked about what I expect from my partner, from the father of my future children, and just the lifestyle, the type of life that I want to live. What does it look like, right? So what we did is we really put an emphasis on making sure that the foundation was really solid and we're on board. So you talk about religion, money, you know, like, you know, he liked gambling and I like shopping. Like, how does that work, right? Like, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, when you're early on, how does that work, right? So it was like, I also was willing to be flexible or bendy, right? It's like, I was like, okay, cool. Well, if he's gonna go and like, you know, rage in Vegas, and like, I know he's gonna fucking clear out the account, right? Because he's a dipshit sometimes, right? But that's the dipshit that I'm choosing, right? I also know that, okay, maybe instead of buying, you know, a new bag a month, I can treat myself to like 2 a year, right? Like, I was willing to pull back too. I was willing to say, okay, well, this is where I can pivot to make sure that he also feels that he's getting something out of it. It's not just about me.
Correct.
So, and all of that kind of has happened together, and I think ultimately it came down to both of us choosing to want to be together, and therefore working on it and committing on that, and really turning to each other and saying, like, the pattern of how we were raised, like, it stops here. It will not happen with us. And both of us being on that same page of understanding like the trauma and the shit that we went through, right? And the trauma, drama, all of it, right? Baby mama, no, I'm kidding. You know, all of it, like, you know, going through that, and being the kid of that, you're just like, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to choose that life, right? Correct. So it's really a choice. It's happiness is a choice, and so is the partnership that you make. So, correct. And really, like, we still have to wake up every day and say we still choose each other. You know, it's not just something it doesn't become rinse and repeat. We still, like I said, enjoy each other's company. You know, last week we picked up and we went to Tulum for like an EDM concert, and like,
that sounds fun.
It was it's lit. It was ridiculous. We went to go see like Rufus Du Sol, but like, we'd never been to Tulum. We literally had no reason to be traveling again after the holidays, but we're like, you know what? Like, we just like, let's just do this for ourselves. And we're not like festival people all that much. We do some, but usually in a group setting. So this was a little bit weird because we're like on our own, not knowing what to expect in a city we've never been to. And like, the show starts at 4 a.m. So it's sunrise set to like 8 a.m. You know, it's like, but this is the person I want to party with.
Yes.
And then 2 days later, I make him do like a temescal ceremony in like a hot hut, and we, you know, start having, you know, with a shaman.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
First of all, what's your professionalism?
I'm a real estate agent.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what is his?
He's like works in it's nothing sexy.
Okay.
In an office.
Okay. He works in the office.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think that?
And at home, which is the worst.
Okay. Do you think that it also help in the relationship if both of you are financially stable? You don't have to be rich, but at least you're comfortable. That makes the choices easier. Just like how you said you just got up and you guys said, "Oh, let's go to Tulum and go the trip."
Yeah.
Unlike if.
Well, we couldn't do that early on in our relationship, right? It was like we were paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
There's no prenup because we had nothing. You know what I mean? And so everything that we have, we've built it together.
So how long did it take to get there?
Well,
To be comfortable.
Oh, I'm still not comfortable.
No, of course.
I'm never comfortable.
Because you a hustler, so that's totally different.
Gangster. Yeah, like literally. I'd say probably when we bought our second home.
Okay.
Right, and then that was like okay, and we could do home improvements, or we could travel, or you know, it was no longer like we have to worry about this project, that project.
How long in time period?
Probably like 5 or 6 years.
After you guys were together?
After we were married, yeah.
Okay. So through that process, because this is where it gets tricky for a lot of people. A lot of people that are together, I don't know about a lot, but nowadays, it seems like the process that you went through with your husband to get it together, to be able to be comfortable enough.
But no one wants to put in the time.
Nobody wants to put in the time.
No. Because everybody thinks that they're like it's like instant gratification, right? It's like, I deserve it. And like, yes, you're a queen. Yes, you deserve it. Yes, you're the best guy on the planet. Yes, you deserve it. Yes, you work hard. But like, there's a satisfaction in building it together.
Yes.
That maybe that also is part of why we're so solid.
And you're so strong.
And like, you know, when I first met him, I was working as a publicist, and that was like the worst job on the planet. And then got pregnant, and like I just never went back to that work, and I transitioned into real estate. I got my license while I was pregnant. And you know, it was the shit of the market. I didn't know anything about anything. But I was like, it's fine. I'm gonna grind, and I'm gonna work my way back up as the market comes back. You know, it was watch out. But I had to sacrifice a lot. And like the choice, like me going and working is actually what gives us something to talk about, right? Like
Correct.
People ask me, is he in real estate? I'm like, never. No, thank you. Never. Like we need to have our separate experiences so we can come together and talk about it and be able to riff off one another, you know?
Correct.
But me having something to do every day and having somewhere to go, for me, gives me purpose. And that gives me confidence, and in turn, like, I'm a better person because of it, because I can be more present. But in my career, in my job, and at my level, because I am, you know, at a super high level,
yes.
I also have to have a partner that's understanding.
Yeah.
And he does, right? The guy brings me my coffee to bed in the morning every morning.
Wow.
Okay, like he wakes up the kids and makes them breakfast.
Guys, listen.
Bring me my coffee. Like I can't get out of bed until I smell my coffee. You know, and then I'll roll out and take them to school, or we trade off, you know, often.
So how you able to do, like, because from what I'm getting, you're still successful. You're a hardworking real estate woman, you know, and still able to balance your husband, your kids, and still have a social life, and still be able to understand the current society, how to do things. Because most people, when it's either they fall in love with their work, or they fall out of place, and you know, the current, and they're stuck on one thing.
Well, how many friends do you have? Like you have a handful of really good friends, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That I call friends. Yeah.
Right. Like a handful. It's the same thing in life. Like life isn't just one person. Like your life is more full, and it fills your heart. Yeah, your life is more full and colorful if you have more things going on.